Hey everybody, welcome to the Power Hour of Love. I'm Charboil and this is...
El Bandito.
How's it going tonight, El Bandito?
Oh, I'm doing great, senor. How are you doing tonight? I know we have an action-packed, fun-filled episode for all you beautiful people out there. Thank you for joining us so far because, we like to call ourselves the Power Hour of Love, and we've got a lot of people asking us, why do you call yourselves the Power Hour of Love? And I got to say, man, it's because we love stuff. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I know that sounds a little weird, but think about when we were kids, what it was like to be a nerd. When you were a nerd, you were a socially awkward kind of person who got picked on because you weren't as cool as everybody else. But when you really think about it, why weren't you as cool as everybody else? You weren't as cool because you were fixated on something that you loved, whether that was electronics or computer games or comic books or something like that. You fixated on it to the point where that became your life. You loved that, man, and it made you a nerd. And in today's day and age, where we've got all this negative media and all this negative press out there saying how awful the world is and how everything's going to end in 2 seconds, we figure we can take a moment to actually highlight that popular side of America right now, of the world right now, where the nerd is on the rise. You know, that people recognize that these are people who love things. And there's plenty of stuff out here to love, and we want to share that love with all of you guys tonight. So thanks for joining us. Let's jump right into doing some awesome stuff. Tonight we're talking about wrestling. What?
Oh, you know it, El Bandito, man. I mean, wrestling has always been something that I love, man. You know, it's something me and my dad watched when I was a little Charboil. You know, man, we just saw so many great matches, you know, going to live events, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big part of my childhood. But, man, you know, I know it was a big part of your growing up, too.
Absolutely, man. It's funny because my cousins and stuff when I was a kid, my cousin AJ, my cousin Alex, all you guys out there, I love you guys. They were huge wrestling fans, and they were always like, dude, you got to be watching the wrestling. You got to be watching the wrestling. And I was like, I don't want to see this at all. This looks like hokey, terrible garbage, and I want nothing to do with it. But when I got to high school, I remember watching the Emmys one year, and, you know, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson came out to present an award with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw the two of them on the Emmys, and I was like, these are two of the coolest guys I've ever seen. And I had to start watching wrestling and find out what this was all about. And that was right smack dab in the middle of what they call the Attitude Era nowadays.
So good.
And
so good.
It's really, it stole my heart, man. You know, it gave me a real passion, a real love for it. So definitely from there, I became a super fan, watched every pay-per-view, everything. I know Rich T, you're out there watching tonight. I know you were over at my house watching Wrestlemania and all these DVDs we'd rent back in the day when we'd miss the pay-per-views, man. But yeah, I went to a wrestling school for about 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
I'm way too tiny and weak to ever do anything that these amazing superstars can do. But I love the athleticism and the heart that these people have to go out and put on this kind of show that takes so much out of them. You know, so it kind of bridges that gap between action movies and comic books where you get all these beautiful, amazing, well-sculpted people doing feats of strength that are amazing and unbelievable. And it doesn't matter if it's not 100% real because their athleticism is still 100% real.
Oh, absolutely, man. It's just fun. It's entertainment. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, even, you know, WWE, you know, World Wrestling Entertainment, you know, it's right in the name, you know. And hey, we know, you know, we have a lot of great fans and stuff that tune in every week. And we get it, you know, not everybody's a fan of wrestling, but man, you know, you guys probably have some friends and family that love wrestling. So, man, if you could do us a favor, man, you know, go ahead and share the video, maybe tag somebody in the comments that you know would really enjoy this because, man, tonight we're diving deep in. We're going to talk about current wrestling. We're going to talk about stuff from the past, man. We're going to bring up some wild stuff. We want to hear who some of your guys' favorite wrestlers are. We know, hey, even people that didn't like wrestling played some wrestling video games back in the day, you know, and like, what was your favorite video game? All that stuff, you know. We're talking about everything pro wrestling related tonight. So definitely join us on this journey. We doubt you will be disappointed.
Absolutely, man. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, you've never seen anything like it before, we're going to cover some of the highlights of this amazing event that just happened last night, the Royal Rumble 2018. Now, Royal Rumble is a very special match. Me and Senior Bull both agree it's probably one of our favorite ones out of the entire year.
Good.
If not the favorite. We were trying to beat each other up deciding yesterday, but what this is and what makes it special is it has what they call a 30-man battle royal, right? Now, this is where 30 people systematically enter the ring. It's every 2 minutes a new entrant comes in, and they all get in the ring at the same time and try to throw each other over the top rope. If you go over the top rope, both feet hit the floor, you're out, you're disqualified, you're done. last man inside the ring by himself is the winner.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a really cool hour-long event, or hour-long match inside of the event. That is just fantastic. Rich T, I know you're out there blowing up the comments right now. I love you, dude. Thanks so much. He knows that we used to play the Royal Rumble, and we would play it on the WCW. What they call their version of it?
Was that World War III?
Yeah.
A 60-man.
Yeah. So they had their WCW Nitro game on Nintendo 64 that we used to play, and Rich T used to love when Sting would be the next entrant into the ring because he would come down from the rafters on that rope thing, and Rich would always be like, "Oh, dude, he's like the God Almighty coming down to save us." It was the best, man. We had a blast.
This definitely isn't the first time I've heard this story. We've played future, wrestling games. Sting has earned the nickname God, which Sting is awesome. We love Sting. Also, I see Rich is saying here, DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. Great wrestler. What's really cool about Diamond Dallas, man, he was a late bloomer.
Yeah.
He started when he was I think 32 or 33, but man, he went on to win the WCW title, and I know he had some time in WWE as well, so good stuff. But man, is it about time for us to dig into the Royal Rumble?
Let's do it, man. Let's talk about the Royal Rumble.
Awesome, man. I have to say, I've had the WWE Network now probably for about 2 years. And while it has a lot of great content, you go back and watch all the pay-per-views. It's just some of the pay-per-views that are like brand specific. WWE has 2 different shows, and sometimes, one show only gets to be on a pay-per-view. Well, the Royal Rumble is for everybody.
Yeah.
So everybody was there. So
because they split it up into their Raw and SmackDown, but everyone gets to show up to the Royal Rumble, compete, participate, have fun, battle each other. So on a weekly basis, you don't get to see them on cable TV. So on these special pay-per-views, now they're all together.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, this is pretty exciting, man. Excuse me. AJ Styles, he's been around the wrestling world for quite a while now. He went and had some time in TNA, and I know he spent some time over in Japan. But about a year and a half ago, he came to WWE, and since then he's become the world champion for SmackDown.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, the guy's totally out there kicking butt, so much so that they put him in a handicap match last night. Now, I thought this was a little bit unusual that it was the first match of the night was going to be a big title match like this, but it was interesting that it was a handicap match. So there was 2 people fighting AJ Styles, and it was Kevin Owens and
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn. Yeah, that's a weird name for me. I always mess it up. But yeah, so the 2 of them got together to battle it up, and it was a match. It was the opening match, so it was kind of weird. I don't know about you guys out there, but I'm used to not really paying attention to the first match. It always been kind of an opener. So
yeah, you're having some pizza, you're getting a beverage, you're getting comfortable. Yeah, it was kind of weird to see a world title defended as the first official match of the pay-per-view.
Yeah. So that was a little weird, but all in all, AJ Styles did his thing, man.
Yeah,
I mean, he was looking good. He was flying.
Oh,
he was doing some moves. I was a little disappointed, I think, with the end of the match being just a roll-up, a little schoolboy roll-up. You're like, come on, man, really?
The WWE has gotten real comfortable using this to end a lot of their major matches. And, yeah, back in the day, it was wild when, Bret Hart did this to Diesel.
Yeah.
Because you had a littler guy, and then you had a really big guy, and he got him on the roll-up, and then it was the win. But, yeah, these 2 guys, they could do so much more. So, yeah, this was disappointing that the finisher was that.
Yeah, and Sami Zayn was just out of the ring, so he couldn't help out. He got busted out the ring or something. So, it was a bit of a ho-hum start to the night, which wasn't fantastical. But, in the end, he retained his title, so...
Yeah.
Hooray for AJ Styles. All right, but next up we had the Usos, who are part of the big Samoan family that The Rock is part of, so really cool here.
Oh, yeah.
And they're fighting a couple of cats, Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable.
Yeah, Shelton, he came on the scene about 10 or so years ago, man, and he was a great high flyer. He always had a bunch of great shots. In the beginning of Raw, they show a video of highlights.
Yeah.
I remember Shelton used to be all over that. But, now, he's 10 years older, so he's a little more grounded.
Yeah.
But he was also part of a team called the World's Greatest Tag Team. So I guess Chad Chad Gable here wants to reignite that team possibly.
Yeah,
but
what's funny to me is they have a guy named Jason Jordan who they kind of bill as Kurt Angle's son because he looks just like him and wrestles just like him and all that. Dude, this guy Chad Gable super way more looks like Kurt Angle to me. I was like, get out of here, man. So, I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny. But, in the end, the Usos won. They retained their title. Again, this was kind of neat because it was a best 2 out of 3 matches. So you had to pin the other guy 2 times to win. But they pinned the other 2 guys like back to back, bam, bam.
It was very quick.
Yeah, one of them was a little crappy roll up, and you're like,
a roll
up, sponsored by Fruit Roll Ups or something. I don't know what's going on, but we moved on from there to let me see here, this one here.
Yeah. This was pretty cool.
The tag match with Seth Rollins, the guy we were talking about, Jason Jordan, versus The Bar, which is Sheamus and Cesaro, right?
Yeah. 2 really big dudes.
Yeah, exactly, man. And I gotta say, dude, like I used this cartoon image that someone made on like WW. What is it?
The network or
no, the 2K18 or whatever, the video game. Yeah, because like this thing felt like a video game match. This was one of those matches me and Rich used to play where, dude, literally the guy Jordan was not in the ring the entire match. So it was like when we used to yank your controller plug out and you couldn't get it back in and we just beat the shit out of you. That's basically what was happening here because that tag team just destroyed Seth Rollins while Jason Jordan wasn't doing nothing. So I don't know where Justin Jordan's at tonight, but he needs to get on this boy and tell him like, hey man, if you're repping the name, you got to do some work out here.
Absolutely, man. tell your cousin or whatever he needs to up it up a little bit.
Yeah. So again, that was kind of lame. We had this nice tag team match again, another tag team match, but then it was another handicap match. It ended up being a 2-on-1 where these guys are just demolishing Seth Rollins. I mean, they're like twice the size. You know,
just beating them down. So that was kind of a little lackluster.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it gets better.
But then we got onto this beast mode of a freaking match right here, man. The 3 biggest dudes in the WWE today, they got Brock Lesnar, Kane, and Braun Strowman all coming together in a 3-way triple threat match, man.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, no disqualification on this one. So they could go anywhere. They could use any type of weapons they wanted, and whew, boy, did they.
Dude, I love the announcer, Corey. What's his name? Corey Hart or something?
Graves.
Corey Graves. Okay, that's his name. He's saying something and he's like, oh yeah, man, this will be a great match, no DQ. And Booker T's like, yeah, anything goes, man. And he's like, yeah, dude, that's what no disqualifications is. And I'm like, man, Corey Graves just sticking it to old Booker T, man.
I know, man. Booker's always worth a good couple of laughs, man. But yeah, definitely, we're definitely going to talk a little bit about wrestling announcing and how it is,
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, you'd think, hey, a wrestling match, you should be able to just hear the announcers describe it. Like if you were listening on a radio show or something, you know what's going on. Well, it's really degraded, I think, on both of our opinions.
Yeah. I think this guy, Corey Graves, has got some potential, but I think they keep him on a very tight leash. Michael Cole seems to have really taken the forefront of it, and he's just such a boring fucking guy.
Yeah.
He's so straight-laced, and he never says anything colorful in the match. He doesn't even call the match to begin with. He's not like, and there's an armbar. And Cesaro is taking him down with a whizzer. No, he doesn't do that. He's just like, oh my God, that was an amazing move.
Yeah.
And then that's it. That's all he says. But it's not colorful or fun or exciting. I'm just like, man, he's just bringing down the whole thing. And Booker T, although he says crazy banana stuff most of the time, like what was he saying? That Seth Rollins looked like he was on Gilligan's Island out there because he was all by himself. Yeah. And Corey Graves was like, dude, there was a lot of people on Gilligan's
12 other people with them. Yeah. So it's just funny.
It's like the two of them were kind of having a good rapport, and then Michael Cole would squash him back. So get Michael Cole out of there, man. Come on. Because later in the night, during the Rumble, Jerry the King Lawler came to commentate for that, and we were laughing the whole time. Like the King is just the man.
Yeah, he's awesome.
But anyways, let's get back to this beast match here we had, dude. So you got 3 powerhouse guys out there, and guess what? They wrecked everything.
Oh, yeah. They broke it down, that's for sure. I mean, they just tore through it, man. I mean, they ripped up the side of it. This was like definitely what you should expect when you get 3 monster individuals in the ring. You know, they're going to go outside, they're going to bust it up, tables are going to get broken, chairs are going to hit people. No chair shots to the head, though. Not like, you know, our man Cactus Jack here, who used to take them on a nightly basis, but that's okay. But still, they did a great job ripping it up. But I know, do we have a certain scene we want to show where things kind of got a little real?
They got a little too real. I think I have a setup here, right? So, here's Braun Strowman where they're fighting, and we're watching the match, and it looks like he gives Brock Lesnar this stiff knee, bam, right to the side of his head. And you're like, whoa, man, I really don't think he meant to hit that dude that hard because he really hit him. But apparently Brock Lesnar was very, very unhappy with getting hit as much as he did because this is his response. Now, this is like the UFC, you know, Olympic wrestler fighter Brock Lesnar just absolutely sticking Braun Strowman in the head for giving him that stiff knee. And, dude, I have to say, watching that moment, I was like, dude, this is going to get bad, like, real quick.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, no one's going to stop these monsters from just duking it out if they want. But both of these guys, man, I will give them freaking credit. They were super professional. Braun Strowman took his shot in the head and was like, all right, and just kept wrestling normal now and was like, all right, I better scale it back a bit. Brock Lesnar never retaliated any farther than that. And it's kind of like he got his comeuppance, and that was the end of it, you know? But what a hit this is.
Oh, absolutely, man. I'm so glad you were able to collect this, man, just so people could kind of see it. I mean, like I said, we like to, as we are enjoying it as entertainment, but we all know that there's a certain, you know, element of staged and, you know, predetermined outcomes in wrestling. But, like, right here is where shit gets real.
You guys throw in the comments. Do you think this is a real hit? Does this look like Brock Lesnar trucked this dude for real, or does it still look fake to you? You know, put it in there, real or fake, in the comments. I want to see them.
There you go, man. But, yeah, all in all, great match. Brock ended up retaining his title, which I don't want to say was kind of a giveaway because, I mean, either one of those two guys could have beat Brock for his title, but I think they're going to save that up for, like, WrestleMania for someone to really challenge Brock and, you know. Yeah,
I mean, Brock still controlled the majority of that match. I mean, all those tables you saw destroyed was basically Brock Lesnar. I mean, he F5'd Braun Strowman through one table, and I think he F5'd Kane through the other, right?
Yep, yeah,
man,
yeah.
So...
Oh, we got Jason L here saying real for sure. Brock just had to he had to teach him a little lesson. He was just kind of like, hey, man.
Scale it back a bit, dude.
Absolutely.
We're just having fun.
Oh, man.
All right, but here we go, man. The actual Royal Rumble. So next up comes the 30-man match, the hour-long match, dude, that everyone's waiting for. They usually only announce 20 competitors, and the other 10 are surprise guests who pop up throughout during the night. So first and foremost, we want to address some of the awesome surprise guests who showed up.
Cool, man.
Let's see. Oh, no, I guess we're going to do this first. We're going to give Kofi his special acknowledgement because this guy has always found the most miraculous ways to escape getting eliminated because he's so small and wiry. Yeah. So he's in the middle there, and you can see his two tag-teamy kind of partner guys from New Day have like skillfully orchestrated a plate of pancakes to be there so Kofi's foot is not actually touching the ground and he's able to re-enter the match.
Entertainment, everybody. Remember that E stands for entertainment.
But I love that his two partners there literally grab him at this point and throw him up into the ring again so he can keep fighting.
Awesome, man. So much fun.
So, yeah, that was super fun. And also Heath Slater.
Yeah.
His gimmick of the night was really cool. I mean, again, purely entertainment, but this cracked me up. He basically came out and got trucked right at the beginning. Blam! Someone hit him on the ramp. It was a guy who had already lost. He was walking out. Do you remember who it was who hit him?
Oh, man. Baron Corbin, I know.
Baron Corbin?
Yeah, I think that's the guy who got him as he was coming out.
Just clotheslines him while he's coming down the ramp. And Heath Slater spends the next, 5 entries, down there just crumpled up in the corner, and everybody walks by and will just hit him, kick him, whatever, and just make sure he can't get in the ring until finally, 10, 15 people in, Sheamus feels bad, just grabs him and throws him in there so he can get immediately eliminated right back out.
It was an interesting angle.
It was funny, though.
I think he might have eliminated one guy, but then he got immediately thrown out.
Well, I know he eliminated Sheamus.
That's right.
Because Sheamus threw him in, and then Sheamus was trying to climb up, and the guy just hit him. And you're like, damn, the one guy that helped you and you turned on him, Heath Slater? What are you doing, man? But okay.
Oh, there we go.
As far as special appearances go, the Hurricane has made his return.
I know this was always one of your favorites back in the day because he was like the embodiment of a superhero in the ring.
Yeah, he was a superhero, you know, and I loved the kind of persona and the personality. But I have to say, I think it was who was the girl that he used to roll with?
I think that wasn't that Molly.
I thought it was Molly Holly, right? That she started coming out like a superhero too.
Oh no, Stacy Keibler.
Was it Stacy Keibler? That's George Clooney's wife.
Yeah,
now,
I think
right?
Super Stacy should come out of, and Rosie.
Well, whoever it was, I liked the girl better than the Hurricane because this guy was tiny and he always got the shit kicked out of him. So like, no, I don't want a superhero to go out there and get the crap kicked out of him. So I don't know what he's doing out there now, but it was kind of fun to see him jump around for a minute, and that was pretty cool.
Yep.
But if you want to talk about a little guy who's going to come into the ring and make a difference, man.
Oh, yeah. Booyaka, booyaka.
Mr. 609 or 691.
619.
I'm bad. I'm not so good with the numbers, man. But
once you heard his music hit, though, it was like, it's on,
dude.
Man. So,
Lucha, bro. Rey Mysterio Jr. coming out, making his first appearance in 4 years in the WWE, returning at a Royal Rumble. I think he's the winner of 2015.
2006. I was actually at that took place in Miami.
I'm not getting anything right tonight.
That's all.
I should have read some of this stuff, guys. I'm sorry. At least Bull knows.
But no, it was great to see him again. And yeah, he got in there, man, had a great run. You know, he was doing hurricanranas and all kinds of awesome luchador moves, man. It's always a pleasure, man. Same thing. This guy's in great shape for his age, man. Holy crap.
Yeah, because this guy was in that WCW Nitro game that I played in high school like 15 years ago, and here he is still wrestling and kicking ass. You're like, man, this guy's great, dude. He's just a champ. He came in, he kicked a lot of ass. I especially like that. He did the double, I think, on John Cena.
Oh, the 619.
Was it Seth Rollins?
I think it was. Yeah. He got him in there and gave him a good kick.
Yeah, that was hot, man. So really awesome to see Rey Mysterio Jr. back up. And the end of the match here, when it got down to the last 6 guys, you had John Cena, Randy Orton, and Rey Mysterio, who are kind of like the former.
Yeah.
What do they call it? The aggression era.
Yeah.
You know, guys.
You had the generations here.
Yeah,
right here,
and then you had a couple of these new guys. You got Shinsei Nakamura, that's Finn Balor, right? And then Roman Reigns. You know, kind of the new generation of guys. And it was cool to see them all kind of stop and acknowledge that moment.
Oh, totally.
But I definitely want to stop and acknowledge, like, dude, look at how tiny Rey Mysterio Jr. is. That dude's like 5'6", and he's kicking the shit out of half these guys. Dude's amazing, man.
That's awesome. Oh, I see Rich T here says, R.I.P. Rey Mysterio. I maybe I'm behind on the times a little bit. I don't know if Rey Mysterio Sr. maybe recently passed away, but if that is the case, you know, definitely rest in peace, Rey Mysterio.
Oh, he says he meant Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, okay. No.
Yeah, definitely Eddie Guerrero. Heart goes out, man.
Absolutely. He was great.
But Shinsu Nakamura took it all in the end, man.
Exactly.
The master of strong style out there, who kind of looks like the master of bong style. It was like the whole time he's out there. But
the one thing I remember, I can't remember if it was SummerSlam or Survivor Series, but when you came over and you're like, who's this guy? And I'm like, dude, this guy's great. I've been following him for a few years since like he was in like New Japan Pro Wrestling and shit. He's great. You know, and you're like, all right, I'm waiting to be impressed. And it was like the worst match. You know, he was fighting Jinder Mahal and it was so bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, just wait. And I think this match, if I'm not mistaken, you said he was your pick to win, right?
Yes, absolutely. By the time it got down to maybe 10 people left and Shinsu Nakamura was around, just weighing the odds and calculating who could beat who, and if he played his cards right, who he could beat at the end and how he could do it. It absolutely played out the way that I thought. And he actually did a pretty incredible move. I should have grabbed the photo of it, guys. I'm sorry. But you'll be able to check it out online, where he actually grabs someone in a Hurricane Rana, basically, and he's holding onto the ropes and spins the other guy out. You know, so his legs are wrapped around his head, and he yanks the dude out of the ring.
That was awesome.
Really freaking cool move. One of the most unique eliminations in the history of the Royal Rumble. I mean, super, super cool. But yeah, half the time he looks like he's about to fall asleep, and the other half the time he looks like he just injected himself full of cocaine. So,
oh, dude, I love him. I think he's awesome.
He's
got
a
so
wild
much,
guy.
so much energy, great moves and stuff. Like, yeah, I can't wait to see what he does at WrestleMania, which he did announce who his challenge is going to. You know, whoever wins the Royal Rumble gets to decide which championship they're going to challenge. And he said he's going to be taking on AJ Styles, which is a dream match for a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. Now, why is that such a dream match?
Well, it's funny, and the WWE won't acknowledge it, but in New Japan Pro Wrestling a few years ago, at their major like WrestleMania-like event, they already have fought. And it's like they have like over in Japan, and they do it for matches here too. There's a rating scale that goes up to 6. Well, Shinsei, I don't know if he has a 6 rating, but he's definitely got a few in the high 5s, and that match is one of them. So people are like, it was such a great match. You know, AJ Styles and Shinsei Nakamura are such great technical wrestlers. And like I said, they both play in that strong style thing. So when they hit each other, it looks like they're really hitting each other, like
how Brock Lesnar hits people.
But anyhow, so I think it'll be a real great match at WrestleMania.
Heck yeah, man! We'll definitely be looking forward to that. We got some other picks and some other info about WrestleMania coming up later in the show, so make sure to stick around for that. But take a moment right now and make sure to get ready with your share button, because we're going to talk about something and we're going to have some pictures that you and your friends and people you know are going to want to see.
Oh, yeah.
Because this Royal Rumble was special because it had the first ever all-women's Royal Rumble. So that's right, 30 women came in and fought in an hour-long match just like the guys did for the first time in history. I mean, really groundbreaking event. We're going to cover it right now. We're going to dive into some of the awesome action that this had. And I have to say, in a lot of ways, this was almost better than the guys' match.
I mean, I have to hand it to these ladies. You know, in the last, 2 years, I know we both used to say, man, the girls seemed like they were 10 years behind.
Yes.
You know, the guys just in technical wrestling ability. Yes. But, man, they have really upped the ante. And, yes, you're right, man. I think I enjoyed the women's Royal Rumble more than the male Royal Rumble. So
absolutely, guys. So, if you want to invite some friends real quick, we're going to talk about the ladies.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
We'll take a minute real quick to mention, too, that, man, everybody was disappointed that Paige couldn't be there. It was nice that Stephanie McMahon herself said that she was sad that Paige couldn't be there because she was really one of the people who paved the way to this event and to the breakout of women in wrestling right now. But yeah, apparently, even after all the crap she's gone through with leaked photos and all this stuff, she's suffered an injury now. She was just getting back into wrestling, got hurt. They're speculating she may never wrestle again. So it's looking pretty bad, man. So our hearts go out to her. I think all of us should send some love out to freaking Paige out there, man, and just hope that she gets better and that we'll see her in some capacity, maybe like a Daniel Bryan or something like that. Some sort of coach or encouragement for these women.
Oh, you know it, man. And definitely, the comments are filling up here, man. People are going and they're sharing, man. They're posting, and I see Jason Y out there. We see you, man. We see Rich still partying with us. We see Big Ben, man, an old high school buddy of mine, man. Like back in the day, you want to talk about, I know you said you and Rich used to play those wrestling games. Man, I remember me and Ben going at it and having our creative characters and stuff like that. I mean, this classic stuff, man. Great memories.
Absolutely. Man. Well, thanks, guys, for sharing the video. Priscilla Chavez, look, hey, I love the name.
There you go.
But no, thanks for stopping by here. We're going to talk about the Women's Royal Rumble right now. Let's jump right into it. You're probably going to want to check it out. It's pretty cute.
Definitely, man.
So here we go. First ever 30-woman Royal Rumble.
Here we go.
All right. So we've got a couple of firsts in the event. But you know what? But before we do that, definitely this one we should do the special appearances ahead, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So first and foremost, we got the slide up. The number one person to come into the Rumble, so kind of history making right here, Sasha Banks, one of the founders up there with Becky Lynch, Paige, Natalia, all kind of the founders of the women's movement, Charlotte.
Oh, absolutely.
So it was a great honor for her to get to be one of the first out there. But they did have some really surprise special guests. We're going to play them for you right now. Check it out.
Oh, it's so cool.
Boom. Number 5 was Lita. We got Tori Wilson. Molly Holly showed up, man. Michelle McCool. Kelly, the original Jacqueline. Look at that. Beth Phoenix. Nikki Bella. her sister Brie Bella, and the incredible Trish Stratus. Man.
Oh man!
All made an appearance, showing up at the Rumble last night to represent all the eras of womanhood.
Definitely.
Lita, I thought, was amazing. She wrote the name of every woman who couldn't be there. Mae Young, Chyna. All these other influential women throughout the history. She's had her arm full of their names to kind of represent for all of them. So it was really awesome.
And definitely, man, like you said, every woman who went in there, man, it wasn't just kind of like a go in and get thrown out thing. I mean, Vicky Guerrero did show up for some comic relief, and she got thrown out by everyone, but that was a lot of fun and cool. But man, Lita, oh my God! Yeah. Like I think she could be in there today, kicking ass. I know those newer ladies were probably like, "What are you doing in here, Grandma?" But
man. I love that. Like, there's some clips out there you can find where you can see that like Sasha Banks and them are totally pulling kicks and punches on Lita. Because she's not in the sport anymore because she did have a very serious injury.
Absolutely.
So it's really surprising to see her get back in the ring, but I'm so glad she did.
Yeah.
And she stayed for a long time. Did a lot of cool stuff. One thing I'll show right here, dude. She came out there and did a moonsault. Now this chick's got all sorts of fused bones in her neck and back, and she was like, "You know what? I'm doing the freaking moonsault anyways." The thing that made her famous. Because she was really the first woman I ever saw who'd go out there on a weekly basis throwing moonsaults like she was just as good as anybody else, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, she looked like a Shawn Michaels, a Razor Ramon, a Jeff Hardy out there just flying with the best of them, man. So the fact that she came out and still did this, risking like tremendous lengths, because as banged up as she is, man, like that really could have been bad for her.
Yep.
But what a trooper, just coming out and kicking ass. And I was so happy to see her there.
She's a Hall of Famer too.
Yeah,
she got inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. So I mean, I know she was also a punk rock singer for a while for the Lucha. I think the band was called the Lucha Gores or something like that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. But dude, great to see her out there. And yeah, like you said, that was her moment. I think she's like, I got one more time to do this. I'm going to do it. And
absolutely.
It was great.
It was, man.
Yes.
Yeah, like what a way to go out. Thank you, Lita. I'm going to show Lita some love. I love that chick, man. She's so good. She did it for me back in the day, man.
Absolutely.
But if you didn't get enough Lita yet, here we go. We're gonna jump back into our slides because she got a first of the night. She got the first elimination ever in the history of the Women's Royal Rumble.
That's so cool, man. Yeah.
So pretty cool that she came out and, as the groundbreaking ass kicker she was able to get the first elimination on Mandy Rose, who gets to go down in history as the first person eliminated in the Royal Rumble.
I think every woman that's in this is going to go down. It's the first ever. No one's never going to forget it.
Absolutely, man. Continuing with our first, we've got our first miracle save. I don't know if she took some lessons from Kofi, but Naomi actually got thrown over the top rope and landed in this sea of other girls here, Kelly and stuff. And she lands on top of them and is able to get onto the barricade, so her feet haven't touched the floor. But she's all the way out on the barricade, right? And she's got 10 girls in front of her who are all eliminated that could totally help her get back to the ring. And they're like, nope. And they just left her out there to be like, no, you're toast, man. But guess what? Naomi finds a way.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, she crawls over and kicks an announcer out of his chair, takes his chair, crawls back over to the ring, gets up on the apron, man, and makes it back in to fight for a little while longer in the Rumble, man.
It was once again, that E is for entertainment, and this was very entertaining. And what a great match, man! Every minute was so fun.
Absolutely. So going on from there, we've got our first winner, man. Now I keep saying Asuka, but they kept calling her Asuka.
Asuka, yeah,
I think that show.
Yeah. And it's really wild. Just a couple months ago, Asuka was the NXT, which is like the WWE's developmental area. She was the women's champion there, and she actually has the longest running, title streak.
Yeah.
There. So it's just awesome. And then she comes in here, like you said, and her thing that she said to everybody was that nobody's ready for Asuka. So definitely they weren't. What a great great battle. It was I think it was her and Nikki Bella. I think at the end of it, or was it Brie?
No, it was Nikki. Nikki knocked out Brie. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
knocked out her own twin sister. Man, what a buster! She was like, "Just it ain't show friends, show business."
Absolutely, man. So she won. Now she gets to choose. We didn't get an answer from her. Who she's going to get, but then. Yeah, she's definitely pointing to WrestleMania. She's going there for a title shot. But then I'd have to say one of the biggest surprises of the night kind of came out.
Out comes the legend herself, the hot Ronda.
Oh, yeah.
Ronda Rousey, professional UFC fighter, damn near undefeated women's champion, man, actually showed up to make her first, official entry appearance here in the WWE, and it looks like she is slated to make this a career.
It is.
She walked in there, didn't say a thing, but looked at the three women there, Charlotte, Alexa Bliss, the two champions that Asuka gets to choose between who she wants to battle at WrestleMania. She looks right at Asuka, goes to shake her hand. Asuka snubs her.
Oh, that was
Ronda Rousey points up to the WrestleMania sign, and it's like, I'll see you there. She mouths it to them.
That's what she
said.
Just
walks away.
Yeah. And, man, I have to tell you, afterwards, like you said, I did see, on ESPN, she made a big press release that, she is officially – this isn't just like a one-and-done thing. She's not going to be at WrestleMania, and she's going to be a new, WWE superstar, But, man, what I thought was so cool is, like you said, the hot Ronda. Yeah. Here's a quick thing about that. That jacket that she's wearing is actually Roddy Piper's jacket.
Yeah.
His son – gave it to he let her borrow it so she could go out there, and I just thought that was so cool. Another great legend that we unfortunately lost over the last few years, but awesome ending to the Rumble.
Yeah, and the mock-up shirt she has actually says that, it says Hot Ronda.
Yes.
So it's really cool, man. But great ending, very a la back that Attitude Era when you get your Mike Tysons and stuff showing up to cause trouble. So it was really cool. In a surprise moment, too, she walked over and shook Stephanie McMahon's hand, kind of quelling any thoughts people had that she would come in there to kind of shake things up for Stephanie. Instead, it seems like she may come in as a heel who's kind of like an enforcer for Stephanie. So that may mean a lot of bad news for a lot of the women wrestlers out there.
Oh, and even a few years ago, remember her and The Rock? Yeah. Kind of like... They beat down Stephanie and Triple H, so I think this was kind of like you said, almost like burying that hatchet, and kind of we're not sure where Ronda's going to fall, but man, she's going to do some damage, I'm sure.
No doubt, man. But again, it was awesome to see all the lady legends coming back. Here we got Trish Stratus, Tori Wilson, and Lita. Just gorgeous, amazing women who are so incredibly talented. I mean, Trish Stratus, the icon that she became after just being a model who walked in there to be like, I'm just going to be a valet and be pretty, and then finding such an affinity for the sport that she worked hard and is actually one of the best technical wrestlers out there you can find now.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, she did the work, busted her ass, and is just great. So it was so cool to see her come in, do great. In a lot of ways, you didn't really want to see one of these people win. We did want to see this new generation win.
Sure.
So it was great that Asuka did pull the victory in the end. And I have to say, there's, like I said, Molly Holly, man. I loved this chick,
good,
dude.
Man.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
She made Crash and the Holly Boys worthwhile, because they were kind of weird and boring before. The guy would come out with a scale and they'd weigh people and all this weird stuff. And then when Molly was there, you were like, oh, she's so cute and adorable and awesome. And she came out, dude, looking like the hottest MILF in the universe right here.
Dude, absolutely.
Just this is the mom that drops off a kid in front of you in the carpool lane, and you're just like, oh my God.
But dude, look at those arms though, man. I mean, she's still, she's still hitting that gym and stuff. Man. So it's that's one thing we'll say is all these women that came out. I mean, I honestly think they could still be in there, but we all know how it is. There's a certain time that you kind of get past your prime, but it's great.
Yeah, you just can't abuse your body that way. Where they could do it, but that constant abuse is just it's a young man's game, or a young woman's game.
Well, I know just recently, Raw celebrated its 25th anniversary, and they brought back a bunch of legendary characters, and the majority of them were the guys. But they just, it was a great show. It was good to see a lot of them, but they just didn't really know what to do with a lot of them, so it kind of fell flat. But, man, this Royal Rumble match did not, this was all-star. So much fun, so good.
Yeah, every woman who came in there as a legend came in and competed. You know,
Yes.
Jacqueline, when she came in, boom, started throwing people out. Even Kelly, like, you could not get Kelly out of the ring for nothing. Like, she's so tall and so long. She had her legs and arms wrapped around everything, and 3 or 4 people are trying to claw her out constantly. I mean, it was just a riot, and every woman put on the best show that she could. Even Vicky Guerrero.
Oh, yeah, she came out and did her thing.
Yeah.
Oh, El Bandito, I just noticed in the comments, we have someone that's here for the couch auction.
Uh-oh, you got someone here for a couch auction.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. There's your
There you
couch
go.
auction.
It's all right. The headphones, don't let it sit up there, but there you go. There's your couch auction. If you don't know what that's all about after the show, go look it up on Urban Dictionary.
Absolutely. In the meantime, we're going to show some love out here to Molly Holly and to all the rest of the women, the gorgeous ladies out there who are kicking ass in the WWE today and in the past. They've all been amazing. They've all been superstars, and they put on such a great show for everyone last night that if you didn't get a chance to see it, go and check it out, man.
Oh, it's so good.
Super cool stuff. Get the WWE Network, $9.99 a month or something like that. And we don't get paid to endorse it, but in case you're wondering, well, how do I go see it now? Because you don't have the internet, but you're somehow watching me still. I can tell you, go to WWE Network, $9.99. You get to see the event.
There you go, man. Great times.
All the women who came out were amazing. They even got together and took this beautiful shot, which I have to say is great because I don't ever think of women like getting 30 of them together and they all like each other. That's mind-blowing to me. So.
There must have been cake afterwards. There's like a cake on the other side of that being like, all right, just be good. I'm sure a couple of them still wanted to throw down. Like once you get that adrenaline going and stuff, man.
Yeah, a couple of those chicks in there, I don't think were happy getting thrown out as early as they were. But that'll about wrap it up for the double Royal Rumbles, man. We still got a lot of cool wrestling talk for you guys tonight. We got some interactive parts we want to hear about what your guys' opinions are on certain wrestling events, tropes, things like that. So we want to get to all that. But first off, we want to jump into a little bit of news today. We're going to give you guys some of the wildest and weirdest podunk news out there. We're going to do it right now.
PoDunk News.
All right, man. Well, if it's your first time joining us tonight, man, PoDunk News is our segment where we like to tell you guys some of the craziest things going on out there in this podunk world that we all live in. We're all about the love here at the Power Hour, but, man, we just have to share some of these wild, crazy stories with you guys. But just so that you know, these are all true from verified sources, so get ready to hear some wacky stuff.
Man, look, they're blowing up The Rock in the comments. You mentioned him once for like half a second. He's in Jumanji now. He ain't wrestling no more. He left us. No, dude, we'll talk about The Rock some more in a little bit.
Absolutely.
All right, for right now, let's jump into some crazy news because there is some crazy news out there.
I know, and this is kind of wild. It's wrestling, in a sense, wrestling related, but not really. Last Thursday, Vince McMahon announced that he will be having a return of the XFL, which was about 15 or probably 20 years ago now. Yeah. Vince McMahon tried to start up his own football league.
The Extreme Football League.
Yes. And, it lasted for one season, but then pretty much fizzled out and didn't go anywhere else, of course, trying to go against the NFL,
Yeah.
But at the same time, Vince has come out and said now that, he's the sole person working on this. He doesn't have any other partners. It's all his money that's paying for it. And that there's going to be no gimmicks. Yeah. He wants a real football. He's got certain stipulations. He's saying that, hey, if people come in, if they try to apply with a criminal record, he ain't taking them. Yeah. He wants straight athletes that are serious about the game, family friendly. He says that the games are only going to be 2 hours long, which is, I don't know how they're going to work that one. I guess halftime is out of there. When you think about all the entertainment, you'd think Vince would have some sort of halftime show. But
well, I think maybe that was like what he got hammered on so much before. Remember, he was so big into the cheerleaders and all that crap the first go around?
Yes.
So I guess it's kind of nice that they're nixing that to really go for the sport.
Exactly.
And I have to say, I do like the fact that they're going to make it more family friendly because, like you said, how do you compete with the NFL? And saying like, well, we're not going to hire people that have criminal records. Well, now you're not competing with the NFL because that's the National Felon League over there, and they got that's everyone there's a criminal. So you're not poaching any of their talent,
Absolutely, man. So we'll see. It's due out 2020, so they're doing 2 years to get things ready and going. And, I mean, Vince, he's made some real miracles at wrestling. We'll see if he can get, breathe new life into this one.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Jason L. says he would have been better off buying the Arena Football League and trying to change that and help that grow and become better. Well, because of the venues and teams and all that they have established. But I know that as part of the XFL, he stated that they're going to have 8 starting teams already that they've got on board. And they're going to have a 10-game season that's already lined up. So it seems like he's got his fingers in something somewhere where he's making stuff happen. But it's definitely a good point. Sometimes it's easier to take something that's already there and shape it a little better than it is to build something out of nothing. But we'll see where it goes.
Absolutely, man. Like I said, I always like to try to give Vince the benefit of the doubt.
Absolutely,
but we'll see.
Yeah. But thank you guys for commenting and letting us know.
Absolutely, man. All right, next up here.
Let's see what we got.
This is a fun story. Not wrestling related, but it's pretty cool. A New Jersey couple changed the location of their wedding from the judge's chamber at the courthouse to the bathroom at the courthouse. Apparently, the groom's mother was feeling ill, so she could not leave the bathroom. So that didn't stop this happy couple from,
Do you take this, man?
I hope they wash their hands.
I know, right? To be your lawfully wedded. What a weird idea, man. I can't get over the fact that this chick looks like Gal Gadot from this profile, that I'm just like, there's a weird part of me that thinks it would be awesome if Gal Gadot was a humble enough person to get married in a Jersey bathroom. You know what I mean? I kind of don't feel like that's the case, but it would be pretty cool of her. But this chick, who's freaking stunning, this is a keeper. I'd marry this chick too. Anyone that's like, yeah, we totally get married in the bathroom while your mom pukes her lungs up over there.
Hey,
wow.
Now, one other little bit of information about this. I guess they were told by the courthouse if they wanted to postpone that they would have had to wait 45 days before they could get married. So I guess they just said, hey, you know what? The show must go on, just like wrestling,
Maybe they were saving it for the wedding night, and this guy was like, no, we're going to the bathroom right now. It's happening. Not waiting.
It's happening. So definitely they got married. I'm sure they're enjoying it, and they're going to have some real wild stories to tell their children.
Absolutely, man. All right, let's see what we got next.
Man, WrestleMania this year, it's being hosted in New Orleans. But, hey, before the WrestleMania party makes it to New Orleans, man, there's another big party coming in a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah, man. We got the Mardi Gras coming at you.
Oh, you know it, man. Well, in preparation for that, they were doing some cleanup because they know every time Mardi Gras comes to town, there's going to be a party, Well, apparently they found a close to 40 tons of carnal beads that were amongst trash that had gotten backed up in the over a 5 mile radius of the parade area, in the sewer system.
Yeah. Now look, you say every week that these are all true stories that you found from verifiable sources and all this stuff.
Yes.
I do not for 1 second believe that New Orleans tried to clean anything. That town is such a shithole. And I'm sorry, I feel bad for the people who suffered from bad hurricanes and stuff like that. But every time I've ever gone to New Orleans, I've hated it.
Well, definitely, and they know that this party's coming, so maybe they did a little pre-up. So that the solution to it is, I guess they're gonna have these blockade things that they're gonna put on the street, where the storm drains and stuff are, to stop the beads from flushing down there. I thought you're supposed to catch the beads and wear them. I guess people get drunk and they fall down and beads fall.
Well, I think if you don't catch them, they will be buried. That's it. They're gone forever now.
We got more people asking about the couch auction.
Oh, they missed it already. It was earlier.
Really?
Go back and rewind the video. You got to be here quick, man. It's already gone.
I know, man. We sold the couch. It's got 40 tons of Mardi Gras beads on it. That
Mardi Gras sewer beads that we pulled out of a Jersey bathroom where this couple was getting married. Try to stick with us, man.
Oh, absolutely. Next story, man. What do we got happening?
All right, let's see what's up.
Oh, man.
Is the WWE for sale?
This one's pretty big, man. Vince McMahon sold a good amount of his shares in WWE a few weeks back, which really spiked a thing that, wow, maybe he's actually going to give up what his dad built. You know? I mean, Vince McMahon Sr. did a lot of good stuff, but that was back in the territory days. And then when Vince took over, he's the one that made it pretty much where it was that federation style. But it looks like, there might be a possibility in the next 18 months that the McMahons may sell to Fox Entertainment, which
see, that's pretty wild, because didn't Disney just buy Fox Entertainment Group?
Well, they bought all of their current
gotcha.
intellectual properties, so maybe the WWE is what they're looking to spend some of that money on.
Maybe, man. We'll have to wait and find out. And yes, Ben, I see you out there. I went to Mardi Gras once too. Walking around in like ankle deep trash is great, but there's so many free boobs on the internet, it's kind of not worth it, And I agree with you.
But hey, we've had a lot of great, even some wrestling themed stories here. But what do you guys think about us diving back in to the wrestling world?
Let's do it.
All right, man. Well, we had a great time, talking about the Royal Rumble. We're going to be digging into some more stuff that's kind of coming down the way. But we wanted to take a few minutes to kind of talk to you guys and tell you guys, everybody out there has their favorite wrestler and favorite tag team, favorite heel. Why don't you guys go ahead and start throwing down into the comments some of your favorite wrestlers, favorite heels, and favorite tag teams. And we're going to tell you some of ours right now. Why don't you take it off the top, Bandito? Who would you say is your favorite wrestler?
Favorite all-time wrestler?
Of all time.
Super easy, man.
Who's
The
that?
Rock, dude.
The Rock.
Yeah, not hard.
Oh, man.
Not hard to call The Rock my personal favorite, simply because his charisma, he's a good wrestler, but he's not the best, most technical, high-flyingest, coolest wrestler in the universe. But his charisma obviously translated so well on the screen for him to become a movie star that you have to understand, that was there before. That he would come out there, and I read his autobiography, and he would talk about being out at dinner, with his family and friends and stuff, and he would write on napkins promo ideas that he just had of crazy stuff he'd say to people, And he started off where they gave him a gimmick, his third generation, son of Rocky Johnson, and, all this, but it was when he turned heel.
Oh, it was
that
so
this
good.
guy was just amazing. He could walk out there and talk trash to people like no one I've ever seen. And then he'd drop the eyebrow on you, not the eyeball. He'd drop an eyeball. Right? He'd drop his eyebrow on you, man, and he'd come out there in his $500 shirts and his fancy shades, and it was just hilarious. It really was a sort of caricature of himself, and that's how he described it himself. That it was like, if I could be the biggest asshole that I want to be, this is what I would be.
It's funny you talk about dropping eyeballs. That's more like Mick Foley having an eyeball roll around his head or something like that.
Yeah,
The Rock was great, man. Like you said, I remember back when he first came out as Rocky Maivia, and he was all a face and stuff like that.
Yep.
And why I
people
liked
hated him.
they were Rocky sucks. I mean, they were nailing him hard, man.
Yeah.
But then he came out. He had a stint with the Nation of Domination. He eventually overthrew Farouk as the leader, and then he ran the Nation. But dude, like you said, when he went solo and started doing his own thing, that was like The Rock. That was right around that 1999 time. And man, it was so good. And for the next 3 to 4 years before he went off to Hollywood, he dominated, man. It was great. Him and Hogan had an awesome match at one of the WrestleManias.
Yeah, him and John Cena, amazing match.
Dude, it was so good.
He carried that torch for Triple H for a long time with Stone Cold Steve Austin and some of the old matches they used to have. I would definitely say my runner-up, though, and this may seem like kind of a weird choice, but is Shawn Michaels.
Okay. He's awesome, man.
Yeah, that guy is, the more I went back and looked at it, when I was a kid and my cousins would come and, hey, watch the wrestling, and we'd sit around and watch wrestling, I was always like, I like this guy. Because he came out and he was all about getting ass, and I liked that.
Sexy
he was like,
boy.
Yeah, he's like, I'm the heartbreak kid. Where the ladies at? And I was like, I connect with this guy, So the Undertaker's like, I'm going to kill you and take you to hell. And I'm like, why, dude? That's what you do with your day? That sounds terrible, But Shawn Michaels was like, I'm going to come out here and look like a badass so I can get a bunch of babes. And I'm like, I connect with this, right? But over the years, when I got more into wrestling and started watching some of the iconic matches that he was a part of and some of the amazing sacrifices he made and some of the amazing contributions he made to the sport, I can't say enough for someone who, at his size, at the time he wrestled, was kind of a serious disadvantage for him. but he still managed to climb above all that and just be WWE champion. And a reigning champion and kick ass.
He's a Grand Slam champion.
Yeah.
He's won every title that, you could win at the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, like you said, he had, Diesel, Kevin Nash backing him up at one time, and then they were a tag team. Shawn Michaels is awesome.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you who my favorite wrestler is of all time.
All right, let's hear it.
It has to be Nature Boy Ric Flair. I mean, the one thing you can say about Nate, man, is he is he is still there today.
Well, he won the over the top rope match. For KFC.
For the KFC,
yeah.
He's the new Colonel.
He
He's
is.
Colonel Ric Flair.
Absolutely, he is now Colonel Nature Boy Ric Flair.
But what I have to say about Ric Flair is just he is the embodiment of a wrestler.
Yes.
I mean, he's got the talk. He walks the walk. To be the man, he had to beat the man. That was his thing. Calling his penis Space Mountain. I mean, that's a wrestler thing to do. The figure 4 leg lock, great submission hold. Man, his rivalry with Dusty Rhodes in the 1980s, I remember watching a cage match. I think it was Bash at the Beach 1986. I was a real young kid, but my brother and my dad were watching it. And, dude, Dusty and Flair are just bloody as hell. And it was I was worried. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's hurting Dusty and stuff like that. My dad's like, it's staged. Just say, don't worry about it. It's fixed. It's fixed. It'll be fine. But then Dusty won. And that was actually the last time Dusty Rhodes won a world title.
Wow.
So, I mean, it was really cool, and it's a great memory. I think that's where it really put Ric Flair. I mean, Dusty Rhodes, awesome wrestler as well. Probably would be my second runner-up for, my favorite of all time. But also, one thing to note there is that Dusty Rhodes was Ric Flair's first championship.
Really?
So he's a 16-time world champion. The first time he beat Dusty, not that match. It was in 1980 or 1981 when he first beat him. But
yeah.
Just a cool little factoid for you guys.
Oh, definitely, man. Well, yeah, Ric Flair's definitely got that gift of gab, man. And unfortunately, right when I got on board wrestling, he was kind of out of the scene. I think he was over at WCW doing stuff with them or something. But yeah, as he came back to WWE now, I can really see man, this guy was one of the greats back in the day.
A legend,
I just missed the window on that one.
Dude.
But I will say this, as far as people in the comments, we got Roddy Piper getting some love, the Legion of Doom getting some love. Who doesn't love the Legion of Doom?
I was going to say, we were going to talk about our favorite tag teams. That's mine. That right off the top, Legion of Doom, Road Warriors, known in some, they were, that was the Legion of Doom, regardless of where they wrestled, sometimes they had to use a different name, but Hawk and Animal, I still think to this day are the best tag team to ever enter wrestling. There's an excellent documentary, if it's still on Netflix, about the Road Warriors, if you want to check it out. But so cool.
I see we got some love for Triple H out there until he became upper management. I would definitely say Triple H is one of the greatest heels of all time. Whether or not you're he's my favorite heel, technically, that dude's the greatest heel of all time. You know what I mean?
I would say that, but there's one guy who I think is a better heel than Triple H.
Who's that?
Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh, come on, but everybody loves Jake the Snake, though.
I mean, don't get me wrong. That's the thing, man.
Right, but Triple H was always a bad guy. He was never ever is Triple H a good guy.
But that's the thing. I mean, I'm talking early wrestling. I mean, dude, he had a Cobra bite Macho Man Randy Savage. I mean, just a lot of the stuff that these guys nowadays. I mean, he invented the DDT. I mean, I think about how many wrestlers use the DDT. I mean, I get that doesn't make him a great heel, but it's just he was so influential, and I think he was the first one to really bring the mind games into it.
No, I'm sorry. I think Hunter Hearst Helmsley, when he first came out, he was a face, right?
Yeah. Well, he was a snob. Remember, he was
he kind of had that William Regal feel to him.
You were supposed to kind of to watch him get beat up.
Okay. Well, either way, it's just the fact that Triple H carried that torch for so long, all through DX, when The Rock was champion, when Stone Cold was champion, he was just always that bad guy that they had to fight. And getting so many people over to be the champ over Triple H, it's just pretty mind-boggling to me that it's this guy's just always just being a bad dude,
Oh, and you're right. I mean, definitely from the level of his accomplishments in wrestling, I mean, he's tied with Ric Flair for the 16-time. Also, John Cena's at that area too. But John Cena, Ric Flair, and Triple H have all won the world title 16 times.
Yeah.
And that's something to his. Like I said, I am saying he is a great heel, but personally, Jake, man, he's always been my favorite bad guy.
All I know, I met Jake the Snake Roberts. We met Jake the Snake Roberts. That dude was the coolest guy I ever met in person. And he was so nice. One of the best celebrities to meet in person. He walked out of his table, came and gave us hugs and like took pictures with us like for free. It was super nice. Super great guy. We bought a DVD from him. He signed it for us without charging us a bunch of money. He was just a super good dude. And he was so happy to meet fans. And one of my favorite things is, you guys may have noticed out there, Senior Bull needs a little bit of optical assistance on his day-to-day life. So I love that we're walking up and down the aisles of this convention, and Senior Bull goes and he's looking at some merchandise, and he goes, "Oh my God, dude, this is Jake the Snake Roberts' photo. This is so cool. Oh, look, dude, it's a Jake the Snake Roberts DVD." He's like, "I love this freaking guy." Jake the Snake Roberts is literally sitting right in front of him, you know? And he's looking at the table and can't see the guy. And dude, he has the biggest smile. Jake the Snake is just sitting there like so humbled that Bull's such a fan and doesn't even realize he's there. That by the time I was like, hey man, look at this. And he looked up and Charboil was like, "Oh my God, dude, it's Jake the Snake." It was just such a great moment, even for both of them, just to watch both you guys be like, "This is awesome."
I remember I go, "Wouldn't it be so awesome if he was here?" And he goes, "I'm right here." And I was just like, oh my gosh, you know, and my awesome Katie, she's definitely afraid of snakes. And she said, "Is your snake here?" And he goes, "I got it right here under the table." And pretty much she took off running, and we stayed and got pictures with Jake the Snake. It was awesome.
It was super cool. So I don't know. I don't think of him as a heel. Like I said, I didn't watch wrestling back in the day enough to think of him as anything but like one of the coolest guys I ever met, man.
He was cool, but like I said, as far as in his ring persona, yeah, man.
Yeah.
I just, like I said, he's my favorite heel. I know I said my favorite tag team, Road Warriors, awesome. I love that you guys threw that down in the comp. But let's talk about you, El Bandito. Who was your favorite tag team?
Dude, the Dudley Boys.
Oh, okay. Now that
Favorite, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you got your Edge and Christians, you got your Hardy Boys, you know, that are all from the Attitude Era. Even Mr. Ass, Billy Gunn.
Yep, all the New Age Outlaws.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, like the Road Warrior. You know, they were great. But to me, the Dudley Boys, again, in that heel mentality of being that ECW heel, where people just hated them. I mean, they almost got a town to riot. I mean, it's Philadelphia, so it's not like super hard to get it to riot. But I mean, these people were like throwing chairs at them, all sorts of stuff. But they came to the WWE with moves that no one had seen before. Like, they were just doing nuts stuff as a tag team, and it was super fun. And they had this great kind of energy. And I love that they never really said anything. They never had to say or do anything. They just came out and just beat the shit out of people and left. But you got that they were the bad guys, you know?
I think it's awesome, and you're right. They were definitely a group of few words, but Jason L down here, he said the three words that the Dudley Boys would always say. Usually it was prompted by Devon.
Got the table.
Oh, it was so cool, man. And you knew stuff was going to go down.
Because it just seemed like they just wanted to hurt people because they lost so many matches, but it was like they made zero attempt to win. Like, they just came out there to hurt people. They'd set things on fire and be like, "Bloom, all right," and then leave. And you're like, what are you doing?
The coolest tag team double tag team finisher, though. 3D, you know, remember Devon would set him up for that flapjack and freaking Bubba Ray would catch him in a cutter.
Yeah.
That was an awesome finisher.
Yeah, beautiful move. The fact that you could do it over a table was so perfect. The fact that you could do it from a top rope was perfect. You could do it when you guys were in two different places and they could meet up in the middle and do it. It was just beautiful. It was one of those beautiful moves. Like, we were talking about this last night. Finishers are such an important thing. You know, and when someone has a case-specific finisher, it kind of sucks, man. You know, where the person has to be on the ground and you do a splash or something. You know, that's nice and that's all well and good. But, man, when you got something like Randy Orton's out of nowhere, you got the Stone Cold Stunner, you got the Rock Bottom, you know, Shawn Michaels super kick, Dolph Ziggler's super kick, you know.
Yes.
These moves that can just be anywhere at any moment, they're really what make wrestling exciting. And
totally.
what even DDTs, going back to Jake the Snake, you can do a DDT from anywhere. You know, you bounce off the top rope, scoop him up, DDT, bam. And what was so great about that, and what was so great about the 3D was they were able to translate that versatility into a two-man move which was really rare. I mean, every other two-man move took like a lot of setup. A two-man DDT or, a two-man suplex off the top rope. It took a lot of work to get there. But the Dudleys could do theirs just fast-paced, boom, hit it. And it was exciting.
And it was controlled.
Yeah.
Now, I know I did say Road Warriors was my favorite tag team of all time, and they had an awesome double team move too, the Doomsday Device. That's when the guy would be up on the shoulders and then Hawk would, clothesline him and knock him down. But it's not a really controlled move.
Yeah, those guys could tumble, land right on their neck or head.
Yeah, the one guy draws, he broke his neck, and guy's paralyzed to this day. I mean, it's very unfortunate. I mean, like I said, they're still my favorite tag team of all time just because they were so badass. Yeah. But, dude, absolutely.
Hey, they weren't like Rick Steinering it up out there, just wrecking people and being like, I know how to wrestle.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, Dudley's definitely, for me, would be
or Kevin Nash. Yeah. Kevin Nash was that dude that was like, I'm in this for the money. I don't want to hurt myself, so all right, you're over there wherever you land. Hope you're all right over there.
The hardest power bomb in the business. Man, I do see some great comments in here. Thank you guys. I know we're talking about our picks, but man, I'm seeing The Undertaker. I'm seeing Mick Foley. I know you guys are
Cactus Jack, dude, love.
He was
Mankind.
The Undertaker.
He was anything and everything. Yeah, The Undertaker. I love Ben Coleman out here shouting that he met up with Terry Funk.
Oh, dude.
Man, that's awesome.
Terry Funk is... He's wrestling today.
Dude, that's the hardest working guy in freaking... He's the Geordie LaForge of wrestling.
Yes.
Whenever you see Terry Funk, he's fighting. He's never backstage eating a pizza or doing a promo. He's fighting, man. He's got his arm stuck in some barbed wire, and it's just split to junk, and the referees are trying to cut him out with a pair of clippers because he's like, I can't get out now.
Andre the Giant. KDD right there. Absolutely. Big love for Andre. He's got a HBO documentary coming out later in the year.
Yes.
Definitely going to have to check that out.
Absolutely. Looks great. The eighth wonder of the world right there.
Yes. Well, real quick, guys, I think we're going to dive into some WrestleMania predictions for you guys, if that sounds like
you want to do that? Do you want to talk about this WWE versus the world stuff?
You
want to save that?
Yeah, I think we'll save that for a later show. There's a lot of other wrestling organizations out there. We might get into a couple wrestlers as we get in there.
There's a lot of stuff. We'll go over them. Lucha, World Order, all these different places,
I mean, definitely, much love to, New Japan, Ring of Honor. I mean, there's a lot of other places where these guys get known. And what's really funny is if you look at Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Shinsei Nakamura, these are guys that all got big elsewhere, and then WWE scooped them up and brought them to the big leagues. But man, there's a couple guys, if we have some time and if you guys are interested, we'll get into them a little bit. But yeah, man, I think we're going to dive into some quick WrestleMania predictions for y'all.
You got it. Let's do it. So WrestleMania 34 is going to be in the great city of New Orleans. Now I feel bad for trashing.
I know. You trashed them for cleaning up their trash.
That's probably why they were cleaning up. They're like, shit, WrestleMania can't come here and it's dirty as hell. We haven't cleaned the city since 2004 when we gave it a good wash right there.
Damn.
I know. That's a low blow.
To quote Farouk, damn.
All right, here. Well, that's for me for being a shit. But no, I really don't like the place. I'm sorry. I have some animosity towards it, personal grievance. But anyhow, so it's going to be in New Orleans. So it should be pretty exciting for the city and, for the people there. It's going to be at the Superdome, which is a great stadium. I've actually been to the Superdome there, and that is a beautiful... Yeah, it's in a beautiful part of town. It's a beautiful structure. It's amazing. I'm sure they're going to pack it up like they always do, and that's going to be a lot of fun. But now that we know that Shinsuke Nakamura is going to be battling AJ Styles in their event, we really have something to look forward to there. But as far as the rest of the card, it's pretty open so far. So what? Yeah, what do you think's going to happen with some of these open events that you've got?
Well, definitely, if I was going to say, just as a quick prediction for Shinsei and AJ, I think Nakamura is going to get his win at WrestleMania and become the new SmackDown champion. That's definitely
I can see that.
Yeah, I think that it just seems the path that they're on. As we said earlier, Asuka's going to either fight Charlotte or she's going to fight Alexa Bliss. They're both women's champions, but for different things. So, yeah, I think. What do you think on that one?
I think she's going to end up taking on Alexa Bliss. And that Ronda Rousey is going to fight Charlotte.
That
because
would be awesome.
Just to me, there's no way Alexa Bliss fights Ronda Rousey and even stands a chance. But Charlotte seems like that. Charlotte and Ronda Rousey absolutely remind me of Hogan and Stallone in Rocky III.
Oh yeah.
You know, where they're from two different schools of thought, but they're both the best kind of in their field. But their fighting styles are so different. You're like, how's it going to work out? So it should be really fun to see that match where Alexa Bliss, I think, would just get the shit stomped out of her by Ronda Rousey.
Well, I just think it's going to be really awesome to see what Ronda does in the ring. I'm sure they've been training her, you know, and getting stuff down. So, yeah, it'll be very cool to see. And, like you said, Charlotte's Ric Flair's daughter. You know, I mean, she's going to be in there slapping on some figure fours, and it's going to be great.
He's going to give her a ride on Space Mountain. But I think Asuka will crush Alexa Bliss. I like Alexa Bliss in the sense that, like, I like Alexa Bliss. I don't think she's very technically proficient as a wrestler. I'm sorry, it's just my opinion. But I like her look. Her attitude is very cool.
I do see KDD here is asking if Roman Reigns is going to WrestleMania. He's going.
Who the hell cares? Get out of here with that comment about Roman Reigns.
Roman has definitely gotten a lot of fan heat, you know, as far as, but I think that's part of like WWE's fault for their packaging.
Yeah, and what's funny is he can't figure out how to either be a heel or a face here, because you'd think he could take this negative energy and be a heel and just be a bad guy and make people hate him and embrace that. But that doesn't seem to work either. Like, we don't love to hate him. We just hate him and think that he's boring and he's kind of a copycat. And he doesn't wrestle, dude. He has no wrestling moves. A freaking super punch is like the dumbest move in history of wrestling ever. I hate it. Who was that guy that used to do the boob plex?
Oh, that's Joey Ryan, man.
Yeah, and he'd only fight women, and he would grab them by their breasts and throw them. That was a more interesting move than the stupid super punch.
I like Joey Ryan. He's cool. He's gimmicky, but it's fun.
I'm pretty sure he is not going anywhere now in this age of kind of whipping stuff.
True.
I think he's out of there.
He may have painted himself into, or backed himself into a corner.
He did.
But Lesnar's definitely going to be fighting somebody.
That's true.
Possibly Braun Strowman. Yeah. I think Kane is like kind of making his exit. Like I did see that I guess his political career isn't over. You know, he might become the mayor soon of like some town in like North Carolina or Tennessee or something. So I mean, I have a feeling that might have been not a farewell match, but kind of like his last match for a while. But yeah, I could see a Strowman Lesnar one-on-one. Yeah. Remember Strowman was like, "You didn't beat me," and stuff like that. And so
hold on, wait. Can we pull it up one more time just for fun?
You want to get the shot? All right, here we go. Maybe we'll see some more of this.
Dude, I could watch that all day. That is just the worst. You're like, oh my god. And it's so like I said, when you watch the clip, it looks like Braun Strowman just totally on accident stuck him. This is totally just F you, dude. Don't hit me that hard. I hate your face. And I'm not saying that's bad of Brock Lesnar, because I get it. When you're in the moment, if someone stiffs you like that, you got to let them know, dude, you're hitting me too hard. And then that's the end of it. And like I said, they're both professional about it. But it's still, in a sense, there's that modicum of like, damn, that's shitty, dude. You just stuck this guy. And we were joking. You notice how Brock Lesnar, the UFC champ, has to wear those protective gloves all the time? No way Braun Strowman got up for that if he wasn't wearing those gloves, man.
Yeah, no, you could just see it cleaned his clock, and like a few moments afterwards, you could see like Strowman was still kind of he was still seeing some stars, He
was like, all right, now how many of you guys did I have to pin to win this match?
But absolutely, man, we'll see what happens with that. But hey, the big question is, will The Undertaker be at WrestleMania? Will he compete? Will he just show up like to do
The Undertaker will.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I would love for him to be there. Yeah. I mean, I saw him at the 25th anniversary thing for Raw. It looked like he was having a bit of a hard time getting to a ring. He did recently just get some hip surgery, which supposedly went really good. So I guess he has been cleared to compete. Rumor mills around the internet say that he might possibly fight John Cena.
Oh, okay.
So that might be a good match. I mean, Undertaker's if he's not done, like his days are definitely numbered. So anyone he wants to fight, he should get it out of his system if he can.
No doubt, man. Well, next up, I know we're talking about the Hall of Fame inductees.
Great event. We always enjoy watching this.
Yeah, it usually airs right before WrestleMania. So if you buy the package for WrestleMania, about an hour or two ahead of time, you can watch it. And then I think they actually do it the day before, right?
Yes.
So you could watch it the day before or right before?
Yes, exactly. Oh, we have someone with the last name Love here, man. They're asking about that coveted couch sale. Do you think we should give it to them one more time? We'll entertain you guys one more.
All right, just because your name was Love, we're gonna show you some love, and we're gonna help you out with your couch auction there.
I like I said, I got to balance it on there. There you go. I tip my shoe to you, sir.
Here's
your
go.
Couch. Okay, so once again, if you don't know what that's all about, look it up after the show. But tell them, El Bandito, who have they announced is going to be in the Hall of Fame?
Dude, if you don't recognize that silhouette as the man himself, Bill Goldberg, he is who's getting getting inducted this year into the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely, man. And I think that's great. He came back last year, had a great run of matches, became the champion for a few months. That's who Brock beat to be the current champion. Mm-hmm. So I think this was really cool. Bill Goldberg, he's a family man now. This is a nice finish to his.
Yeah, he definitely made his mark. His accomplishments in WCW are unparalleled. For a organization that was basically built around people that they scalped from WWE.
Yeah.
He was really like their own original property that they made and built this guy into a powerhouse, And I know there's a lot of other great people that they had there, Sting, Chris Jericho, and all this sort of stuff. But Bill Goldberg was that real breakout that even people who didn't know wrestling knew Goldberg. Like when you saw him in commercials on TV and spearing people and stuff like that, like they knew Bill Goldberg. Yep. So.
Oh, KDD just put in a great comment. Goldberg is actually currently on The Flash.
Oh, no kidding.
On CW.
I'm not current with that. If you guys like The Flash, show it some love down in the comments down there. I'm going to show it some love. I love The Flash. I think it's pretty awesome, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, he plays a cool role on that, and it definitely doesn't seem like a one-shot either. It looks like he's going to be around for a little bit. So
very cool.
Awesome, Goldberg. You guys have been really great tonight, man. We've had a lot of fun talking about the past. How would you guys like to hear a little bit about the future? We're going to tell you about a couple wrestlers right now that you guys should keep your eyes on, because I have a feeling in the next few years, these are going to be guys that we're going to be seeing on WWE TV.
Absolutely, man. So that wraps up WrestleMania. Again, that's going to be April 8th over there in New Orleans. In Louisiana. I almost said Los Angeles, but in Louisiana. So you can pre-order the thing. You can get the WWE package. You can get tickets. They're like a freaking $1 million.
Oh my gosh, insane.
But you can get tickets. But what do you think of this cat?
All right. If you guys aren't familiar with this guy, man, this is Kenny Omega. He wrestles over there in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Kenny.
And, man, I got to tell you, this guy has blown up over the last few years. He's a great technical wrestler. Earlier we were talking about that rating system. Well, this guy's got a 6 on his, So definitely that would kind of go to show. I mean, like I said, everybody's got their favorites, man.
Yeah.
Kenny here, the thing is he's so big on the indie scene right now. He might not even need to come to WWE, but at the same time, WWE always has their eye out at the next big thing. If you haven't checked this guy out before, go over to YouTube, type in his name, check out his finisher, the One-Winged Angel. It's pretty badass.
Sounds cool, man. It's got a good name.
Here, I know you're going to dig this, El Bandito. Earlier this year, actually the 4th of January, he fought Chris Jericho.
Whoa, nice.
Jericho went to Japan to fight him.
Nice.
And then they fought for 56 minutes.
That's an Iron Man match right there.
I was going to say, and they, nowadays, most matches reign maybe 10 minutes tops. So, and I watched the whole thing on YouTube. You guys can too. And man, when you watch it and you see that quality, same thing, hats off to Jericho.
Yeah.
Man, it is a great match. This guy would be a great addition. And he's not a spring chicken either. I know he's in his 30s. So, but like I said, I have a feeling in the next 2 to 3 years, we'll see Kenny Omega make the jump to the big leagues.
Absolutely. Kenny, the end. He's coming.
Yes. They call him the cleaner because he cleans house.
Nice.
Now, we would like to talk about, singles wrestlers, but I got to tell you guys about a tag team to check out. We got the Young Bucks.
Bam, bam.
These guys are probably the most infamous tag team right currently. All the old guard hate them. They gave them the moniker of killing the business.
Nice.
And they've adopted it. They use it as their thing. They're like the Young Bucks killing the business. That's on their T-shirts. Even cooler, they run all their own merchandise. So that's money in their pocket. You know, like
Yeah.
they sell this shit at Hot Topic. Like here in the States, you know, and they are on Ring of Honor, which is aired on CW, where they're the tag team champions. As you can see, there's not just 2 belts there. These guys are multiple champions across various organizations. But the thing is they put a lot of comedy and entertainment into their matches. You know, like they'll like get into like drop kick wars with people, and they'll double super kick somebody. They just do these really outrageous things, and where the old guard hates them is because they say that it's really degrading wrestling.
Okay.
Like we all know that it's a staged predetermined outcome, but you know there's still a certain amount of like seriousness that they expect, and that these guys are kind of like taking that and just having fun with it. Almost like Joey Ryan, like we were saying, like how he does the boob plex, and he, you know, the one guy grabbed his penis and he flipped him. Remember the one time? Like these guys are all about that kind of crazy fun stuff, but people love it. The new generation, the younger fans are digging these guys, the young bucks. So I have a feeling they're next on the WWE's list to bring on in.
Oh, very cool, man.
So definitely, yeah, like I said, I just wanted to share a couple of those with you guys, you know, just for things that, you know, 2 or 3 years from now when you're watching WWE and these guys come walking on, you could say, hey, where did I hear that first?
On the Power Hour Love right here with Charboil and El Bandito.
We're, you know, just as we said, we're a Power Hour of Love, man. We always run a little over because you guys are so awesome. But, you know, real quick before we end the night, man, if you guys ever had a dream match that you guys would love to see, I mean, we're not just saying they have to be alive, living or dead, put it in the comments now. Do you have anything off the top of your head, El Bandito, that you think?
A dream match that I would love to see? Yeah. I bet I could come up with a dream match that I'd like to see. I'd like to see a triple threat match.
Okay.
With Trish Stratus.
Okay.
Sonny.
Oh, okay.
And me. I think that was a dream match I had.
I'm pretty sure you're going to adopt Joey Ryan's move of the boob plex.
Yeah. One of the nice things about this heyday of wrestling that we're in is that, yeah, we could sit here and say, like, I'd love to see The Rock have a match with Shawn Michaels.
Oh, yeah.
They did.
You know, and so, you're right. You would have to kind of go back and look, but want to know a lot of people like Hogan and Austin never got a chance to meet. You know,
I think the biggest one to me would be actually that forward generation. I would love to see Austin really have a real heyday match with John Cena.
Oh,
because
I
think
awesome.
you remember The Rock and Triple H and Austin were all technically heels.
Yeah.
You know, but they were like anti-heels, you know?
Yes.
So they never really could compete with each other. It was always kind of this weird sort of, I'm the baddest dude. But John Cena's a face. He's the face of faces.
Yeah.
And if that guy could have threw down with Austin, that would have been the all-time greatest face-heel matchup that we kind of missed out on, you know?
Do you want to know what mine would be, man?
What's that?
I know this is on a lot of top lists and stuff, so I hate to be a fence rider, you know, on a rider on this one, but it would have to be The Undertaker versus Sting.
Versus Sting?
Yeah. I think that would be an awesome match. It would
have been like the Crow Sting, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Not the bleach blonde, you know, man, come on, Sting.
Not the trying to keep Jeff Hardy sober.
Yeah,
Sting.
no. But definitely, that would be my dream match. Or I know we talked about this before, Andre versus the Big Show. You know, the two giants of the industry. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. And I have a feeling Andre would just mop the floor with the Big Show.
Andre was so cool, man. Yeah. Absolutely, man. But thank you guys so much. I haven't seen any dream matches pop up in there, but we're glad we were able to share a couple with you guys.
Absolutely.
This has been a real fun night, you know, us sharing stuff about the Rumble, talking about wrestling. And, yeah, we love that you guys dug it. Everyone seemed to be having fun in the comments.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we're glad you guys are sticking around. You know, if you feel like you think up a dream match you want to throw our way, put it in the comments later. It's no big deal. We're going to put this video up on YouTube. You can check it out over there. If you guys are watching this on a replay on YouTube, join us every Monday night at 9 p.m. over here on Facebook. Like our Facebook page will send you notifications. And you can chat with us live. and interact with us here. And we'd love for you to do that. But feel free to leave us a comment on YouTube, and we'll reply to you guys there. Smash that like button. Throw us a subscribe. We would love that. We have a goal right now of trying to get enough subscribers to get our own personalized URL. It's not a super ton of subscribers, but if you guys don't mind sharing the video, heading over to YouTube and smashing that like button, start a new fake account. Smash the subscribe button. No, don't do that.
No, absolutely. If you have multiple accounts, subscribe to us with each of them. We would love that. But yeah, absolutely. Same thing we said earlier tonight, guys. You know, if you enjoyed the show, if you have a friend that enjoys wrestling and you think they would like to hear it, share the video with them. The more and more we get out there and people hear it, like the more fun we can have every week.
Absolutely.
And,
all of us, you know, because we know that you guys have a lot of fun hearing our opinions, but we love seeing all the different opinions out here. And we see that you guys interact with each other on here and in the comments later on YouTube. So, man, keep spreading the love. Let's get more and more people in here so we can have a big smorgasbord of love. Just all sorts of dirty, filthy, intertwining love.
In a squared circle. No holds barred. No DQ. Cage match.
Right here, Monday night, 9 p.m. We'll see you there.
Yeah.